family. Thank you again for joining me. Let's talk about Daniel a little bit and why the Daniel fast. Let's go into history a little bit. If you look at the book of Daniel in chapter 1, it explains it a little bit in the beginning. So Daniel and his friends were taken out of his hometown, being a Jew, and he was put in exile to serve the king Nebuchadnezzar at that time. So during that time, the king had told the servant to go feed the servants or to go feed them. And Daniel said, no, I'm not going to eat what you're serving, because he chose to honor God and not defile himself, not defile his body or his spiritual life. Why? Because during that time, Nebuchadnezzar and their kingdom, they actually served different idols, different gods. And what they did with the food that they ate, they honored them or they dedicated them to those different gods. So they were eating, or they were being a participant if they were to eat those types of food of those idols. In other words, they'll be serving different idols instead of God, Yahweh. Amen. So Daniel told the servant, he said, no, thank you, I don't want to eat that. And he said, no. The servant said, no. He got scared. And he said, but I fear my Lord, the king. You have to eat this. He was like, you know what? Why don't you test us for 10 days? Serve us vegetables and serve us no rich foods or wine, and just serve us vegetables and water. 10 days came, and he looked at the resemblance, and he looked at them, and he saw that they looked healthier than the other servants. And he said, no. The servant said, oh my goodness, I am going to start feeding them the same diet as Daniel and his friends. Amen. So that is the reason why he didn't want to eat the king's type of food. Now, if you go quickly to chapter 10, it speaks about the time that he had a vision, because Daniel was a prophet and he was a seer and he had dreams. He speaks about a vision that he had that was about to happen, that was going to happen in the future. And this vision was so scary and traumatizing. Okay, and you read it, it made him so weak, like physically weak, and he desperately wanted to cry out for his people, Daniel. So in chapter 10, it explains, I need to fast. Okay, he was fasting. It says, in those days, I, Daniel, was mourning 3 full weeks. I ate no pleasant food, no meat or wine came into my mouth, nor did I anoint myself at all till 3 whole weeks were fulfilled. So this is where we get the 21-day Daniel fast. So it's a pretty deep book. It's very interesting. It speaks about the things that are to come, and I encourage you to read that. But as for now, what I'm going to do is just show you certain things, that ideas of what you can eat. So what I've done for you today was prepare a couple of platters and ideas of things for you to eat. Okay, so God created everything and he said it was good. So here's a platter of fruit. So I have here, and I keep this around, I try to keep it around so that whenever we get hungry, we can just pick from it. So I usually have like a bowl of nuts here or a bowl of grapes here, so that whenever we're walking around and doing our chores throughout the day or whatever we're doing, we can just pick from it. We have bananas, we have orange mandarins, and these are super easy to put in your bag and take with you wherever you go. A mango, we have different types of raw nuts here, and grapes, super easy. Clean them, put them in here. What are these? These are dates. Sometimes for people who suffer with sugar issues, it's good to have maybe 1 or 2 of these in your bag. And when you start to feel that I get it sometimes, where your sugar is about to drop, one of these is perfect. It's funny because every time I see this, it takes me back to when we went to Israel on our trip a few years back. When we went to a hotel, when we registered at the hotel we were staying in, they actually had a huge platter of these dates, and it was just like like you will see a plate of mints on the desk. They had dates instead. So these are super easy to eat. We have vegetables. Yes, actually, I love to snack on vegetables. We have the sweet peppers. Okay, these rice cakes are actually brown rice cakes with just a little bit of Himalayan salt with them. And we have celery sticks. Who likes celery sticks? I love celery sticks, especially with almond butter. So this is a snack that you can easily make yourself or the kids. And if you just want to put some sweetness to it as well, because this almond butter is sugar-free, we can just add raisins to that. And this is like I love this snack. So I mentioned the kids, you know, one of the things that Daniel, it mentions in the Bible, Daniel and the boys, the Jews, one of the things that they do is they teach their kids from infancy, from toddler, to honor God, and they teach them their law. So I'm saying this because it's a good thing, even though we're not going to force our kids to fast, but it's a good thing to understand and teach them to understand what we're doing and the reason why we're doing it for, so they can get accustomed to these things as they're growing up. Amen. The rice cakes, you can actually put almond butter as well. And I have something else for you that we actually do. Another way that we can eat bananas or enjoy bananas, and this is something that you can do for the kids as well, is this is half. We actually do it here, that's why I only have half. So we'll just peel this here real quick. Some of us do not like it that sweet, but some of us do. And I just simply cut this. And I add almond butter to it. And I'm making a mess. Believe it or not, I also add raisins to this. So you can prepare this, and actually you can prepare this in advance during snack time or during lunchtime, and just add a toothpick to that and walk around. I love it. Okay. So these are ideas. Another favorite of mine, excuse me for talking with my mouth full, okay? This is, I buy these every time. I buy them all the time. And I absolutely love these. I keep them here in a bowl as I'm cooking. Instead of picking on the food, what I do is I actually start snacking on olives. My absolute favorite. It's really not hard. You just have to be creative. I sent you a list of Daniel Fast friendly foods, what you should eat and what you should not eat. But you know what? God sees and God knows. Have fun being creative during this time, but take the time to consecrate yourself. We're killing the flesh. Read the word, get closer to God, take time to pray. If you prepare these snacks in advance, you take them to work. What I used to do was during my lunchtime, I would find a place all by myself, open the snacks, open my word, and snack at the same time. And you know, you're gonna find the difference. They found the difference after 10 days by the way they eat. But 21 days of prayer, incorporating your prayer and your fasting time, you're gonna make a habit of this, and honor God with absolutely everything we do, and you're gonna see the difference. My thing is that I want to hear from y'all. What is God doing in your life during this time? What has God been instilling in your heart? What are the good habits that you have created because of this time? Well, have fun. God bless you guys. Thank you again for joining me. See you soon.